Hey everybody, Rhadamant here for a very special number 50 episode of Kenshi. Boy, does it go quickly. Okay, so I wanted to do something special this episode. So what I'm going to do immediately is to recall everyone back to base. I need everyone to heal up. So if you recall last episode, we were smushing the fog, if that's an adjective I can use. And we just about finished up. We did rescue some escaped servants, but I'm definitely not planning on keeping them in the group at all. So what let's just cut this one through. Ooh, kick to the nuts. If, Fogman had nuts. So this episode, I plan on doing, I don't know, like I said, something a little special. I guess you'll all have to wait and see. Let me speed up some time here. They are annoyingly chasing me down. Alright, you know what? We're going to have everyone reconvene up here. The home crew, I'm going to set on passive. I don't really want them getting involved, except for Pingu. Pingu can come on down. All you guys, let's kill these dudes. That's about enough of being chased. King just cut through, like, I don't know, half a dozen of them. Alright, I'm going to leave this gate open so that we can possibly throw bodies into the furnaces. And I did say I wanted to start healing, so skeletons into the skeleton beds. Someone's holding Ron. Who's holding Ron? Hamet. Get everyone nice and healed up, because I have quite an adventure for them. Someone involving some comments I received. So, to give you a tip, you all want a tip, right? Zerosar and Yezerul both mentioned that Beep should probably get a Meito weapon. Right? And that's exactly what I intend to do. Okay, why is Wing Wing... Who put Wing Wing there? I did, but let's not put him there. He's not exactly a robot. That doesn't exactly benefit him really at all. So another comment I received, which was this weaponsmith I upgraded somewhat pointlessly. I'm making it use steel bars now, which is kind of a mistake, if I do say so myself. So, oops, I guess. What else can I say at this point? So I'll fix that shortly. And then also, the difference between Masterwork boots and for Samurai and Masterwork boots for Plate is mostly just the dodge at that point, and a little bit of run speed. So I'm double backing and saying that as long as I can afford the run speed hit, the boots are fine. So I am going to dismiss this servant, but I want him to heal up a little bit first. I'm not going to send him out there with it being dangerous and all. Jafar is cleaning up some corpses. Everyone else is healing. Looks all about right back home. Green, why did you get out of bed? Ah, there just isn't a bed for you. Alright, servant. I'm sorry to say, but you're getting bounced now. Hurts to do it, but sometimes it must be done. Wow, his leg almost came off. Like, a few hit points away from coming off. Not that that would be a problem. Prosthetics are perfectly fine. In fact, better most of the time. Alright, Jafar is still... here's the other escape server. Oh no, that's the one I just dismissed. He's coming back to patrol the town. Speaking of town, a lot of people mentioned that I ought to open up a shop here, but I'm really not sure who my customers would be, which is why I haven't yet. I think most of my customers would be just fogmen looking to eat my flesh, so therein lies my reservations about opening it up. Green, get in bed. How many times do I have to tell you? You aren't a robot yet. You can't just go ahead and walk around. Well, the robots are back up and fully running. Guess I can turn them off of range, as they won't have range. In fact, all the Shet can turn range off. Ron, get back in bed. All the unconscious people that were put in bed get out on their own. Anytime someone's fully healed up, I'll kick them out of bed, have them stand around, I guess. Just so that I know when we're all healed up. It's a nice little indicator. That way I know when I can go. I do have a lot of skulls to turn in. So one thing I noticed was Silvershade here could use a mast helmet. Because he's a prince and he has slightly better helmet selections than the worker drones. So we'll have him switch out. And again, heal. Yeah, there will be some fog coming by. I'm leaving the gate open. I could possibly close it, but I'm not that worried. Beep's got a hard head here. A lot of hit points on that brain cage of his. Alright, King's up. Ruka. Jane's. Not Ron yet. Sorry. Rain. Hommit. Hobbs. Mew. Crumble. Griffin. Stubbs. So green is the one we're really waiting for in his leg. We also have to remember Beep has a lot of skulls on him. I think we had someone else that did too. Also, it appears that, no, they're delivering the iron. Just making sure that nobody is stockpiling trade goods accidentally. Making sure that nothing was critically wounded. Really, not at all. Green is the only one that really needs the rest. Alright, I don't want to keep getting harassed continually, though, so I'll close that. Now, before I get going, I did want to outfit people. So, Silvershade, you are going to get a better helmet. I think everyone has... Everyone but Oh no, most people have high-grade drifter pants at least. Not everyone, though. I definitely could be doing better about outfitting and armor. It's just not, it's not very compelling. It's not, honestly, not very interesting to, I'm sure, for you guys to have me watch me do this stuff, so that's why I haven't really focused on it too much. I make sure that I have like a decent amount of armor, and then I just call it good, so I don't bore you all to death. Alright, Pengu and Jafar just got locked out. Let's call that a mistake. Rhadamant needs to pick up his backpack. We cleaned out the Fight Club. So this backpack was engineered to weigh a lot. Let's fix that. You don't want to weigh me down needlessly. And, okay, we're still full speed. I'm going to go on a little bit of a trade run, which is why I'm grabbing the drugs here. I don't really care who I sell to. I'm likely going to sell it at not a loss, but not much of a gain, because I just simply don't care all that much. I was never trying to turn a profit from drugs. So outfitting. We want to maybe give Ruka, what is this, a heavy weapon class? How's your heavy weapons? Pretty bad. I'm not going to switch anyone up just yet, unless someone has a heavy weapon, really skilled heavy weapons. Rain is at 22. That's actually okay for a heavy weapon, so I'm going to give her a Falling Sun. Yes. And she's now a little overweight as a result. What's her move speed? 19. So she'll be the slowest. I could wooden sandal her for now. Let's try... Okay, 21. Yeah, there we go. A nice middle ground. Now for Rhadamant, let's give him the nice chainmail, and then Kang is going to take the leather turtleneck special, and then I believe Ron didn't have a shirt. Yes, that is true. Griffin, this is a big upgrade, huge in fact. And these plated boots are going to be big for someone else. For Wing Wing. Trying to min-max what I've got. Now for armors, Ruka still moving quick. I'm going to go ahead and sell a lot of this stuff. But I do realize it weighs a lot. So I'm trying to distribute the weight. Oh, one was Masterwork, one of those helmets. No, it wasn't. It's my imagination. Ron at 19. Alright, Mew, you have some carry weight. Nice. And then the rest of these guys, we can split up the bolts and whatnot. So I'll have Green carry all those bolts, and then I'll split up the rest of the bolts amongst the people with crossbows. Regardless of the quality of the crossbows, I don't really care. I should craft up some better toothpicks for the new shooters. But I need the blueprint first. So I guess I should shop around for toothpick blueprints. so we've distributed the bolts evenly. Everyone's set to go. I gotta find the slowest mover. Might be Ron at 19. Yeah, it is indeed Ron at 19. Let's follow Ron, and our first stop is going to be the High Village. Oh, unfortunately, Wing Wing did not make it out. There we go. Now close it. Yeah, there's going to be some fogmen that are dead and dying out there. Aramid, when you have nothing to do, gonna have you crossbow train. Oh, speaking of which, Griffin and Stubbs and Crumble. Gonna have him run back real quick. Grab some food. Jafar, you're getting fired soon, but I'm gonna have you crossbow train when you're idle. Oh, WK burn. Okay, all the robots got left behind too, because their jobs were turned on. Let's try this again. Follow Ron. Ron, head to the High Village. Gecko, when you got nothing going on, train on the crossbow. I'm training some crossbow in case fog shows up when I'm away. Pingu will help stomp the hell out of a lot of the intruders, but I don't want to rely too heavily on Pingu. You can take on a crowd or so, but don't want to push it. Oh, I guess I had some weapons to sell. Oh well, I can always do that trade run later. So Necrom was the one that that mentioned I should craft higher level toothpicks so I fire faster, so I train faster. That's a very good point. I definitely should be shopping around for those blueprints. Who's chasing me? Scrawny cannibals? Oh, that's cute. Burn, are you slower? No, you're not slower. We're outrunning these little cannibals. Starving little cannibals don't tend to be much of a threat. But there is diminishing returns, much like most role-playing games, on beating up really, really easy to kill enemies. So there's not much point in me fighting those cannibals. I would very, very easily kill them. And then what? Right? Alright, just sped run up to 21. Janes, I'm going to speed you up to 21. Checking to see if 21 is my slowest. Yes, it is. Let's see if I can't speed him up to 22. No, he's sort of stuck at 21. That's because of the boots, I suppose. Come on, Mr. Byrne. Speed the clock up a little bit. Okay. Now I want to make sure that they don't catch any whiff of my hiveless, because then I'll have to have them run away. Welcome, human. So yeah, I don't make a lot of money on the hashish I sell these guys. It's legal, but the profit margins are slimmer. Like I said, I don't really care. I'm not looking to truly make a profit off of drugs. It was just something to use my hemp on. at this point, given my increasing excess of wheat, I might do the same with wheat and grog. Have a little grog business on the side going, only to work through the backlog. He can't afford either of these armors, he being this Hive Prince. Okay, and we've basically tapped their purchasing power. So have Rhadamant run in here. Please don't see the hiveless. You say welcome. Sounds good to me. Oh, right. Skulls. He's not going to have enough for all of that. Yes, we are making a lot of money. Okay. Janes, you're definitely the slowest still. Time to head to Squin next. And while I'm moving, what I can do is sort of get all of my things worthy of being sold on Rhadamant, so it's just a lot faster and easier to sell it when the time comes. So Stubbs, Griffin, and Crumble. Well, I guess not Crumble anymore. Everyone kind of ate him out of house and home. He had, at one point, the surplus of foods. That might not be true anymore. Load a new zone. Rain with a new falling sun. That'll be fun. It's very effective against beak things. Has a big indoor penalty, whereas the katana does not. So I guess I'll be on the lookout to see if the katana gets swapped to if we go indoors. No room for that item. We all know that's bogus. Alright, I'm going to throw out that junk. How heavy are these things? 4 kilograms? It's kind of standard weight, I guess. I don't know. I think there's a song about that. How am I out of trade range? Where is Ruka? Oh no. Hang on. Ruka fell behind. Her pathing kind of got stuck, I guess. Glad I noticed. I was thinking to myself, why can't I... I'll just keep that gear on Ruka. Alright, let's follow Ron. Head on down to Squin. Gates are closed. That doesn't sound right. Yeah, pop those gates open for me. I think it's because it was loading, and it's the default position that a gate loads in on. Mercenary tent, sure. It's cheap. I will buy this engineering map because... Oh, and the bolts. Alright, Ruka, you've got the goods. There we go. I'm making a pretty penny here. And they can't afford anything. So the engineering maps, what they usually do is they'll show you... I already closed it, but they'll show you a new place to go and raid for loot, I guess. Ruins and the like. I don't know how to make long cleavers or fragment axes or planks. I'll buy that. Rhadamant also doesn't have crossbow, so I'm just going to distribute the bolts kind of randomly. And let's do a quick check of anyone that needs to sell anything of any type. Regular crappy splint kits definitely can be sold. Alright, I think we're looking good. Ron is still the slowest, or Jane's. And we're gonna head out. Make sure to pack everything away that I can. If I already have a backpack, there's no sense in being extra encumbered by having it in the inventory. I do need to get more backpacks, though. That's always on my list of things to do, I suppose. Our toothpick crossbowmen do have a nice bounty of bolts, so that should allow us to do a lot of firing. This doesn't look like a military formation here. Kind of messy. For shame. Thought I trained you guys better than this. It's mostly due to the fact that Janes can't keep up. So the first thing I want to do is swing by the scrap house. And the reason for that is there should be one more AI core there, and I want to buy that AI core. Then additionally, I think it's about time to cut Jafar from our roster. I no longer would like to employ him, so I'm going to fire him. Yep, it has come time. I will give him a parting gift of a decent katana. So, yes. So we're not marooning him necessarily. Hell, you can even keep these pants and these ninja rags as a gift. Pop the gate open. Mr. Jafar, you are dismissed. See, he was our corpse hauler, but there's only so much corpse hauling I want to do. Alright, let's no longer bodyguard Jafar. While we're moving to the scrapyard, I did want to go over some of the pawns or characters that I have. So, we have Bard here, who's working on his crossbow smithing by cranking up toothpick bolts. And I'm just going to have him continue that as much as he can. Looking at Heft. Heft is one of the full-time farmers. And every time Heft and Bark, who are both of the full-time farmers, get down to the... Oh, Bark, you could use faster shoes. Yes, you could. Every time they have a no more farming jobs done, they'll be iron mining. And then likewise, Gecko is the same deal. Gecko's really only job is to grind flour, which will be done pretty soon automatically. Wow. In fact, both of our wheat straw storages are full. So let me think about adding some. We are really getting a huge amount of wheat straw. This will be good when we want to make drugs with it, I guess. Given that building materials is so cheap for us to manufacture. In fact, our building material manufactory has been idle for quite some time. I might as well use up a little bit to, yeah, instantly fill up another wheat straw. So we'll eventually have automatic grain grinding, which will free up a lot more time for Aramid to do other things. Aramid is our cook. Beep is getting targeted. Now that the home crew isn't here, I'm going to close the defensive gate. So I'd like to cut Gecko out of the roster as well. Gecko is the next one. Because really all she does is grind flour. And if we had one more ancient book, we would literally not have need for her once we automatic grind. And once we automatic grind, what we can do is we can have Bark and Heft carry the straw flour, or have Aramid do it. We won't need that extra pawn, that extra character. In fact, Chung could take up some of the slack, because right now he is just creating hashish. But like I said, I'm not really interested in going into the drug business. I'd rather make armors. Speaking of armors, Shrike, you are working on black and chainmail. Cool. What I think I'm going to do is put her on heavy armor, then chainmail, then clothing band or chainmail sheet, and then so that we can get through some of these backlogs here. So masked helmets, I'm looking for master masked helmets. But then additionally, we can make some samurai boots, I guess. Looking for masterwork ones. And then some black pleat jackets, because a lot of the ones we wear are also not masterwork. I would say jackets... Oops, someone's getting eaten. Jackets and shirts are most important, covering your core and head. So helmets... I would explain the way that armor works. It's very complicated, though. So basically the way... Basically. I say complicated and basically in the same sentence. So sort of the way it works is that let's say you get cut. Your cut resistance is what initially mitigates damage, and then the damage that you don't mitigate for the efficiency gets turned to blunt damage, and then you take that blunt damage. So, and then it will also cut through layers. So let's say you had a armor that gives you 50% coverage of chest, and a shirt that gives you 50% coverage of chest. It doesn't actually equal 100% coverage. It's just when you get hit, you basically roll a 1 out of 2 to see if the chest blocks it. And if it does, and there's still damage left over, it will then attack your shirt, roll a 1 out of 2 to see if your shirt blocks it. And that's the way armor works. So the greater the coverage, the better, and the greater the cut efficiency, or cut resistance efficiency, the better. So if you had really, really, really low cut efficiency, like let's say you had cut resistance 50%, cut efficiency 50%, you would negate half of the cutting damage incoming, and then the remaining half with the cut efficiency would then be passed immediately into blunt damage, and you would get bludgeoned instead. If you're interested, you can Google it, the way this works more in depth, because I might not be explaining it perfectly. But long story short, coverages are getting your parts fully covered, I think, are the most important. Because let's say with Green runs a little bit of a risk because he has a helmet that only covers 70% of his head. So 3 out of every 10 shots on his head are not mitigated, which means if, let's say, he's hit with a harpoon in the head, his chance of dying instantly is like 3 out of 10, roughly. You know, providing that harpoon was going to be fatal in the first place. Whereas everyone else has 100% coverage, which means... And then also, a lot of them have harpoon resistance as well. So if you look at King's helmet, for instance, as you can see, there's 100% coverage. There's a really, really, really high cut efficiency, so only 10% of cut damage even gets through. And then if it's a blunt damage, more blunt gets through. But then there's also a crazy high harpoon resistance. So 100% of the time, his helmet's going to mitigate that damage. Whereas with green, it's only 30% of the time. I think what I need to do is find green better armor, too. I probably want dust coats and the like. So we're out here in the middle of nowhere. And we're headed to Scrap House first, so that we can buy the one remaining AI core that we have left. Oh, Rhadamant is getting messed with by bandits. There seems to be... Who are you? Oh, you're a Jafar. Oh, now you're a tech hunter. Well, that's news to me. Heft, Bard, and Gecko. I'm gonna grab... Actually, Heft, Bard, and Bark. Gecko, forget it. I'm gonna be firing you soon anyway. What I'm doing with these guys is, while the bandits are incoming, I'm going to have them train up on turrets real quick. And it would not hurt to have a few more with helmets. They look really, really silly. So Bard and Heft and Bark. Actually, Bard, you won't need the helmet if you're on the turrets up top. Give it to Aramid. No. Where is Bark? Bark, stop it. I'm giving you an order. Oh, it's because Heft's on that one. There we go. Now we're going to get slightly better at crossbow while the bandits are incoming. I don't really need the farmers to be farming at the moment. I'd rather have some bandit protection. And there's enough helmets for just about everyone. The bandits are just going to steal food. They're not actually going to eat me or anything. So, although I don't want to be walked on, it's not likely that they're going to pose too much of a threat to me. Aramid, you should have... Everyone at home should honestly have wooden sandals. I should have done this a long time ago. Even you, Shrike. So that they can do their craft. Move between their craft a little bit faster. Except for you, Pingu. My sandals don't fit you. Jafar is actually stuck in here. Because I dismissed him with the doors closed. So he's just kind of wandering around. You know, the bandits that are demanding stuff could have just been eaten by Fogmen, for all I know. But it looks like our crew moving to the scrap house is getting close. They're also splashing in acid puddles. So Kang is going to get melted a little bit. I'm just going to watch in case I hit security spiders. So there ought to be one more AI core purchasable here, and then some books, too. And then all the other AI cores, yeah, one core, one book. There's also some engineering research. Map of the Ashlands. I don't need yet. Toppers wouldn't be a terrible thing to buy, but let's see. Black and chain shirt. Eagle cross. I'm going to buy the Eagle's cross blueprints. Exotic weapons, already known. That's for falling stars. Alright, we did what we wanted to do here. Now, any veteran player kind of probably can tell what I'm doing next. But, yeah. Let's get moving. Come on, everyone. Checking back on our buddies here. All the Masterwork ones I'll set apart. Seems like Masterwork is what's rolling off the line most now, which is great. Investing in her was worth it. Iron clubs now cost steel bars. Yeah, forget that. Yeah, I forget who said it, but they said that upgrading the weaponsmith to 3 was kind of a bad idea. And I'm right there with you. I entirely agree it was a bad idea. In fact, it's so bad of an idea, I'm going to go ahead and dismantle this weaponsmith. What's on it? Fabrics? Yeah, I can go ahead and dismantle it. And someone with a big backpack. Bark? No, you're working. Aramid. I'm going to take you off your job. Have you clean up this mess. This reminds me of picking up gold in Diablo 2. Probably some of the other Diablos too, but specifically this reminds me of Diablo 2. Especially the Act 1 tower. Okay, crafting. We want a weaponsmith, only tier 2. So, there we go. Because the tier 3s, I might need to disassemble the torch posts too. The tier 3s require steel. You can pick that up, and you will. And I'm not really producing steel all that quickly, so it's going to bottleneck a lot more often. Really? Is it the light? Yeah. Oh, the woes of making a mistake. Okay, Chung, you literally can't pick that up. All right. Maybe it's the light. I don't know. Well, I'll try to figure this out. Weaponsmith. Ah, there we go. Glorious. And then we're going to want a ceiling lamp and some torch posts. All right, well, we fixed that. It's already has all of its iron plates. That's great. I'll put these away. Checking back on... Oh, looks like the bandits are coming. Well, they're going to run into fog. Almost certainly. The bandits are probably down this way. As long as I keep my gates closed, they ought to run into fog. And I'm totally okay with that. Just putting all the lights in. Alright, back to Ron. Did I leave anyone behind this time? Doesn't look like it. No little blue dots strewn about. That's what I like to see. Me not screwing up. Well, guys, as much as it pains me, this is going to have to be a double header. I don't do them often, but I do plan on finishing the task I set myself out for. So thank you all for watching. I hope this has been informative. I really appreciate all the tips I've been getting, and stay tuned for the next part of this episode. I guess it's part 51 now, unfortunately. I was trying to get it done in part 50, but the squad just needed a little bit too much healing after bashing all the fog. All right, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in just a sec. Adios.